when you become big, when you become decent, the client, you do good things. Client thinks ये बंदा अच्छा है यार, ये अच्छे से मेरे से फोन से बात कर लेता है, रात को 10 बजे फोन करता हूँ तो फोन उठा लेता है, और इसकी ऑफिस बढ़िया काम करती है, मेरे को स्टेटमेंट कैपिटल गेन का चाहिए होता है तो 15 मिनट में मिल जाता है. He doesn't bother about 5 lakh rupees in that case. जो नहीं आए वो कभी नहीं आएंगे, दुनिया बहुत बड़ी है, काम करते रहो. There are, so my final statement, you see, कौन साथ है इसके बारे में सोचो, कौन छोड़ के चला गया इसके बारे में नहीं सोचो.
कौन साथ है उसके बारे में सोचो. वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस. ब्रिजेश, इट्स ऑलवेज मेस्मराइजिंग टू लिसन टू यू. जब आप बोलते जाते हो मन करता है सुनते जाए आपका.
Hi Sadiq.
Hello friends, and welcome to Network FP Success Talks, where you meet, gain insights and get inspired from the leaders of personal finance profession. My name is Sadiq Nilgun. I'm your host, and with me we have our guest Brijesh Dalmia, the veteran of industry and the founder of Dalmia Wealth and Masterstroke. Welcome, Brijesh, to the show.
Thank you so much, Sadiq, for giving me this opportunity. Glad to be here.
Thank you so much, Brijesh. And Brijesh, friends, has many of you know Brijesh already, but he has trained, trained and coached thousands of financial advisors and distributors, has been part of the industry for long. He's also a founding member of FIFA and done so much for the industry. Thank you so much, Brijesh, for all that you've done for the industry, apart from what you're doing for yourself.
Thank you.
So, Brijesh, let's get started with going back to your beginnings. Everybody knows what Brijesh does today, how successful Brijesh is, but let's get back to when you started. What were you doing before you did financial advisory and distribution? और वो कलकत्ता की गलियों में या जो सपने लेकर आप ये प्रोफेशन में आते हैं, if we can go back to those days and just revisit what happened and how did you get into this profession?
Thank you, Sadiq. First of all, let me congratulate you and your team, Network FP. What a brand you have built for yourself, the quality events that you do. And I wish Network FP all the very best. I still remember I have been a part of so many of your annual conferences as a speaker as well as a delegate, and you guys are doing fantastic. So
thank you, sir.
Sadiq, I think we underestimate the role of luck in our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And when you ask me this question, I will attribute most of it to luck, as destiny helps you reach where people say that you are successful, you are doing good, all those things. But it has to be a combination of cosmos and so many things to put things into perspective, into the right place. For example, life was good in Patna. I belong to Patna, and life was good. I was doing very well in terms of my age, my earnings, everything. And then markets went bad. And then Ketan Parekh happened. And all of a sudden, it probably was the decision of a day or maybe a week that I will go to Calcutta. Without knowing anything. Maybe the plan was to start a stockbroking activity there in association with some big broker. It didn't materialize, but any which way, I landed in Calcutta.
Mm-hmm.
And for 6 months, I did not know what I will do. From being busy from morning till night in Calcutta, I just could not understand what I have to go do in my life. And then in January 2001, I decided I will start selling mutual funds. Before that, I was doing into B2B, only into sub-broker business, where I had sub-brokers working for us, but then I decided I will go B2C in terms of working with my clients, and it just happened, and the rest is history, and I'm happy. Yeah.
So it's now been 23 years. You landed from Patna in Kolkata, and you started your mutual fund distribution. Lovely. Brijesh, I want to revisit the time when I got to know you personally. These were the times when I was with FPSB India, Financial Planning Standards Board. And once upon a time, you were literally the number one education providers, not in terms of numbers, but there were a lot of education providers who were doing CFP education program, but everybody ended up using Brijesh Dalmia's books and courseware, like literally, And I was like, okay, who is this Brijesh Dalmia and your brother Rajesh Dalmia, both of you together? So can we revisit those days and what really happened during that part of your life? Let's say between 2005 and 10, I guess.
So I'm a commerce graduate, and it always kind of pinched me that, I'm doing financial advisory. Those days I can say I was doing financial advisory. Now I can't because I'm mutual fund distributor. As a disclaimer, I must tell you. But, there was always a pinch that, I'm not a PhD or a doctor or an engineer or maybe, a postgraduate. And so this new course called CFP came to light in India in 2003-04. And I said, let's do this. And within a year, I became a CFP. I passed all my examinations in one shot, and then that was it. And then in 2005 and maybe 2006 to be precise, me and my brother were talking, and this education provider franchisee opened up by Financial Planning Standard Board, and we thought, let's do it. And then we took the license, and then it was all down upon writing the content, and we thought we will hire people, they will write the content. We could not find anyone. So one fine day in office, me and my brother decided, let's write the books.
Wow.
And, and me and my brother, there were 6 curriculums, there's 6 books. So
Yeah.
I wrote 3 of them, my brother wrote 3 of them.
Mm.
And literally from morning till evening, 8 hours every day for 3 months, both of us wrote those 6 books.
Oh.
Leaving everything apart. So I remember each and every word, everything, whatever we have learned, we poured down into that book. And that was the birth of Mandar Learning as an education provider. And we are happy that you say that most of people use our book. Even today,
yes,
although we don't bother about it anymore, but even today, in some form, those examples, those names feature in other education providers' book, which should not have been the case because it should be very ethical. But then that's life. In 2012-13, we left that business because I think Financial Planning Standard Board made it difficult for us to continue for various reasons. And we said, let's close this. So, but for 6 years, it was fantastic. Thousands and thousands of people read our book and cleared the examination. Yeah.
Yes. So that was definitely a phase of CFP when it was like going and booming very rapidly, right? Brijesh, now let's come to your practice at Dalmia Wealth. You build a very good boutique practice with now managing around 750 crores for 150 clients. Tell us a little bit about your practice and how much of your time now actually goes into it. And I am really keen to learn about what were some of those the first 3-5 years. How did you get your clients and your asset book? How did you build that?
I always keep saying, Sadiq, for example, at Masterstroke, when people ask me some questions, and whenever a question comes, how to meet new people, the toughest question, the toughest thing to do in this profession is not regulation, direct knowledge, personal skills, or softwares, people, nothing. The toughest thing in this profession is to find people who you can meet and propose investment. And that was tough for me also. And I got from Patna to Calcutta, I came, and then I knew nobody, literally nobody. I have just one relationship here, family relationship, my brother-in-law. Apart from that, I did not know how to go to office, how to go to home, which mode of communication to do. So forget about people. I did not know anyone. So what I did is that, I just literally, started mailing content to 1,000, 1,500 people of a famous club in Calcutta. And I did it every single week, from writing to ordering to printing to proof checking to pushing them into the envelopes with my people. And that gave me a few leads. And that gave birth to Dalmia Wealth, what it is today. So I got around 5-7 clients in the first year, maybe 10, who just called me by looking at my content and material which I used to send them. And some of those clients are now multimillionaire. They still stay with us in terms of our journey. And so it was tough, and it was very hard work. I remember, Shadiq, since you were asking me this question, and there's so many people here in the second year, I used to go to office at 6:45 a.m. in the morning. So I used to wake up at 6 o'clock, and I used to take a taxi at 6:30, I reach office 6:45, 7 o'clock, do my homework by 10 o'clock, then I'm out in the marketplace to meet people. So I've done this for maybe a year, and that's it. So yeah, I got some clients, and from there, reference. Today, so if I worked 8 hours during those years, maybe 10 hours a day, Right now, Dalmia Wealth doesn't take more than 2 hours a day. So it is growing because of loyalty, integrity, quality service, relationship. People have known you, seen you, that you are working in their interest. And so there's little effort now. The only effort is that to remain updated, to read stuff so that you don't miss out on things. That's it. It is no hard work now. It is just maintenance of what you have done in the past.
So now that you have this 23 years, what would be your take on when does compounding actually kicks in?
10 years.
Practitioner.
10 years.
So you need to
Nothing
keep that patience.
Yeah, so for me, compounding actually started after 13 years. So I reached my 100 crores in 2014. And from 2014, my growth rate has actually been higher than the first 13 years. With half the effort, with 1/4 of the effort. So first 13 years, probably I worked 10x to reach 100 crores. And from there to 750 crores, my effort is 2x, 3x of the initial effort. Not 2x, 0.2, 0.3%. So real compounding happened in my life after 13 years.
Lovely. Now coming to your, what you are really more known for these days is the Masterstroke. I love the name, by the way, Masterstroke. And I remember having conversations around these names long back with you. So first things, Brijesh, congratulations for the way Masterstroke has been built. And, I remember you started with some trainings. Now you actually gone into research, softwares, building more CRM and financial planning and so many things on it. And making the world of mutual fund distributors so much more easier. Not just from the point of view of giving them quality tools and softwares, but also making it economical. I think that's something which you are playing a very big role in. Can you tell us a little bit about Masterstroke, where it is today and where is it heading in future?
Sure. So Sadiq, Masterstroke started not as a business initiative, but to develop some tools for myself to help myself do this business in a better way. So we started developing calculators because I'm a CFP and I know the calculations pretty well. So I started the first calculator, second calculator in terms of SIP and other things, and we really did a lot of deep diving into these calculators. So I developed some Excel calculators, and then I put it out into the first Masterstroke calculators. And from there, and the first year, I still remember, in the first 9 months, we got only 50 members. That's it. And then people started liking it, word of mouth. And then again, a stroke of luck. Let me tell you how powerful the stroke of luck is. COVID happened. And everything went inside, and people started working on webinars and web, and we could showcase people what we have built, and then the traffic came into hundreds, maybe even thousands, and then people loved it. And as they said, network effect, that more people see it, more people use it, and so more people become a fan of it, and so a Masterstroke developed. Today, Masterstroke, the reason we are working very hard at Masterstroke, I'm giving a lot of my time, 2/3 of my time today goes into Masterstroke, because it's a passion. It's a very different business from distribution. You have become a manufacturer, so that gives a lot of kick. You are helping people, you are providing solution to people, thousands of people. And I believe, I consider myself as an alumni of mutual fund distribution business, this industry, and people help, being an alumni, people help their alma mater. So the same way I feel that, let me do whatever best I can, keep it economical, help people grow, make money, financial inclusion, all these things. But mostly, I will tell you, and we are not stopping. So we have developed a lot of products in the last 3-4 years. We are going at breakneck speed. The big IT team working behind the scene. It's a 6 times bigger team than Dalmia Wealth at Masterstroke today. Very, very professionally managed, all people at the right place. And I've not done it alone. So a lot of people whom you don't know have contributed to Masterstroke success in terms of building it, in terms of the content. And we are not stopping. The idea is, and I will quote Richard Feynman. I read his book maybe 2-3 years back. He was a Nobel Prize laureate. And I read his book. You must be joking, Mr. Feynman. Besides being a physicist, he did everything in one life. in 1960s, and he was a dancer. He learned dancing, and he became professional in that. He learned opening safes of the army, and he became an expert in that. He started painting, and he became an expert in that, and whatnot. And that put me into a thought that, Brijesh, what are you doing? Just one thing in your entire life? No, that's not done. You can do a lot many things, and as an individual, you need to explore what else you can do with your life. And so that keeps me going in terms of Masterstroke as well as other initiatives which I propose in future as well in my personal life. So I play a lot of chess, I play badminton. So I'm just trying to explore my life, that what else I can do rather than being into one cocoon kind of thing. So Masterstroke today is a family of 2,200 members. It's a very strong. We are growing 100% CAGR year-on-year basis in terms of the overall growth of the company for the last 4 years. We intend to do that. Visibility is that at least for the next 3 years, we will continue to grow at 100% CAGR in terms of our revenue growth and other aspects. But most importantly, and Tim Ferriss says, there's a famous author called Tim Ferriss, and I followed him for last 15 years. And he says, the day you hit 1,000 loyal fans, your growth can be crazy. And we hit this 1,000 loyal fans maybe a year or two back. And from there on, our growth has been crazy. We have tremendous amount of traffic on our website. People just love Masterstroke the way we have built. So we are lucky. And because of all that, we are pouring a lot of investment into Masterstroke, a lot of building teams. So the idea is that to make it at such a level that there's no life without Masterstroke for any mutual fund distributor.
Lovely. Great to hear that, Brijesh, and it's what better coming from a alma mater who understands this fraternity so very well. Now, Brijesh, now that you know so much about mutual fund distributors, you're trained, coached, and I have personally spoken to people who said, Brijesh ke saath call karne ke baad wiring theek ho gaya types, that kind of a phrases which I've heard, right? After speaking to you, because you are a no nonsense guy, jo hai wo hai, fatafat karo, aage badho yaar, itna mat socho wala, that kind of a, and even me, not just other mutual fund. I have had many conversations with you. I wanted to do a SWOT analysis of a typical mutual fund distributor with you, right? Because and SWOT, let's just break it down for being on the same page. Strengths, weakness, opportunities, threats. Strengths and weakness being something internal to us. Let's cover that first. What do you think are the typical strengths and weaknesses of mutual fund distributors in India as you come across?
So I will be precise and short to this answer. I think when you talk about the strength of mutual fund distributor, two things that come in my mind is integrity. They work in the interest of the client because they have become an entrepreneur, and they know that to make it big, they have to hold their clients. So I think the quality of mutual fund distributor is very good in the mindset. Number two, strength of a mutual fund distributor is that they are very hardworking. They can work 16 hours a day, and they are working, and they're very passionate about growth. They're not passionate about mutual fund. They're passionate about growth per se in life, that they have to do something, kuch karna hai. Aur ye jo jazba hai, this is the biggest strength of mutual fund distributor. So integrity and hard work are two things I will quote as strength. When it comes to weakness, unfortunately, I feel vision is not there in many mutual fund distributors, that how far they can go and how big they can become in this profession. They start with thinking that if they do 20 crores of AUM, it is good. And so, because a typical Indian family will make 50,000, 1 lakh rupees a month. And so if they reach that figure, they are very, complacent, they're okay, happy. And that is the vision they start with. And it takes 5 years, 6 years, 8 years to reach that vision. And then they are kind of, no more energy to run. I think vision is the problem, that they don't start with thinking they have to start with 100 crores or 1,000 crores of assets under management. And even today, they are not able to think that big of, maybe 1,000 crores or 5,000 crores. This is one of the weakness. And the other weakness is delegation. Purely, they want to do everything on their own. They want to save every penny they earn as trail commissions to go in their pocket. And they don't want to spend that money into better technology, people, and they don't want to invest in their business. This is the biggest weakness. And if I have to quote the third weakness, they don't know how to sell debt fund, and they don't want to know how to sell debt fund.
They don't want to know. Why What is a statement now?
Because it is hard to sell a debt fund. There's no story in debt fund. What they don't understand is that you can't grow without selling debt funds. Or even if you reach 1,000 crores, probably you could have done 5,000 crores. And because debt is difficult to sell, how to convince a client to buy a 6%, 7% kind of fund or a product with such a bad history in the recent 3-4 years in terms of interest rates rising and an accident that happened 3 years ago, they just don't want to look at it. So they have a closed door window that ki return nahi banta, wealth creation nahi hota, debt fund se equity becho, SIP becho. तो हिंदी में बोलता है उनको इक्विटी की घुट्टी पिलाई गई है कि इक्विटी बेचो एसआईपी बेचो, which is not right. It works in the long term, but there's no long term without the short term in terms of volatility, and so they are not able to manage the volatility of the client. They are only focused that हमको equity में book बनानी है, which is not right.
Very precise with strengths and weaknesses. Now coming to opportunities and threats, which are external to us, nothing to do with us, but we need to live in this environment. We need to adapt. What do you think are the opportunities and threats of a mutual fund distributor?
When it comes to opportunity, I think Indian population is the opportunity. I remember 15 years back, or maybe 20 years back, when I went first time, maybe second international trip to Paris, from airport to hotel, I could not find a single person walking on the pavements. And literally, I mean it, for 2 hours. There's no population there. In India, the advantage is that everywhere there's so much people around that's the huge opportunity for you.
Yeah.
And with so many PAN cards, so many Aadhaar cards, so many people into financial inclusion in India, it's a big opportunity. People always think, and MFDs always think that, कि दूसरे के client को ले आते हैं, कैसे उस बड़े client को हम ले आए. I always say, boss, जो पैसा नहीं लगाया उसके पास जाओ, उसको म्यूचुअल फंड बेचो, वो 20 साल रहेगा आपके पास. जो किसी और के थ्रू आपके पास आया है, किसी और के साथ करता था, वो कहीं और चला जाएगा. So snatching client and poaching client is not the solution. The new KYC, the new investors are the opportunity, and there is no short term. It will take you 10-15 years to grow in this profession. Please bear that in mind. The second thing is that, mutual fund now established. 20 साल पहले जब हम लोग बेचते थे तो म्यूचुअल फंड का वर्ड लोगों को नहीं मालूम था. हमें एसआईपी क्या होती है समझाने में 2 घंटे लग जाते थे. अभी एक नया बंदा जिसकी केवाईसी नहीं है, he comes to a person and says मुझे एसआईपी करनी है, and the person says that कि okay म्यूचुअल फंड में लगाना नहीं, मुझे एसआईपी करनी है. This is the kind of India we are living in now. And with the Dhonis of the world and the Sachins of the world, when they are giving advertisement, mutual fund is sahi hai. I think what else you need? I mean, this is the biggest opportunity that everybody. My mom says every other day when I watch cricket with her that Brijesh, हमारा mutual fund का ad बहुत आता है. So this is the biggest opportunity. Threat. I think regulation continues to be the threat. Although since you're asking me to talk about threat, I'm giving you my opinion. But I think for self-motivated people, these are no threat. And I will come to that. I think regulation continues to be a threat because of whatever reasons, in terms of lowering down of trail commission or not promoting the mutual fund distributors per se as much as they deserve, and direct remains a threat. Now, when I say direct, see, सस्ता है वो चीज जिंदगी में बिकती है. It's a common sense. It's a behavior thing that कहीं भी चीज सस्ती मिलेगी आप जाएंगे. But there are people who don't want a cheap product, because when you buy something cheap, you have to spend your time, and there are people who don't have time. So I don't have time to find new doctors every day, new chartered accountants every day, new engineers every day, new interiors every day. I work with fixed people because मेरे पास इतना समय नहीं है कि मैं कुछ पैसे 1000 रुपए बचाने के लिए, लाख रुपए बचाने के लिए लोगों को ढूंढता रहूं पूरी जिंदगी. At some point of time, you want to spend your wealth, you want to spend your money for growth and peace and luxury and life, and you have to find 150 of them in the whole planet. And you will find them very easily. That who will like to take your services, they're not bothered by 0.25%, 0.5%, and they're happy with relationship. They will simply deal with you because you have a good nose, you have a good voice, you look pretty. That's all. Whatever way it is, and you pick up their call. Finding 100 people is not difficult. So I think these are the two, financial inclusion and population and mutual fund sahi hai is the biggest opportunity, and established returns, and risk remains regulation and direct. Having said that, direct will keep going up, but the mutual fund AUM will keep growing, and the MFD's own AUM will keep growing. So you don't have to worry about that.
So it's more of, again, a rewiring of your brain to get to accept that as a reality and figure out a way ahead.
I will give you one example here. जब जीएसटी
Yeah.
आया, लोग अभी भी जीएसटी से परेशान है शादी। जीएसटी लगता है, जीएसटी कैसे बचाया? मैंने बोला जीएसटी होता क्या है? जिस दिन जीएसटी आया, मैंने मन में बना लिया, मेरा 100 करोड़ का एम था, मुझे मोर और लेस याद है 100-200 करोड़ का एम होगा। मैंने बनाया, मेरा एम 85 करोड़ हो गया, मार्केट एरिया 15 करोड़। उस दिन से मैंने वायरिंग कर ली कि ये मेरा पैसा है ही नहीं, मैं कुछ कर ही नहीं सकता इस चीज के लिए। रेगुलेशन है, फाइट कर रहे हैं, एसोसिएशन है, फाइट कर रहे हैं, जीत गए तो अच्छा, नहीं जीते तो कोई बात नहीं, तो लॉ, रूल ऑफ द लैंड है। अभी लोगों को अब मतलब 85 रुपया आ रहा है, इसकी खुशी नहीं है, 15 रुपए जा रहा है, इसका गम है। तो मैंने ये सोचा, और जिस दिन जीएसटी आया था, मैं आपको बता दूं, मार्केट वेंट अप क्रेजली। तो
अच्छा।
मैंने बोला यार, वो तो कॉम्पेंसेट हो गया ना, अभी भी क्यों उड़ना जीएसटी का। और
हम्म।
इफ यू आस्क मी, द ब्रोकरेज आई गेट, आई नेवर remember how much brokerage is getting into my bank account. Only calculate what is the net commission I am getting after GST. So I have wired myself, there is nothing called GST. It's not mine. Why even think about it?
True.
It helps you grow because you accept things, you move ahead, because जिस देश में आप रहते हैं, जिस regulations के साथ आप रहते हैं, उसको आपको follow करना है। रोज रोज गिला शिकवा करने से तो कुछ नहीं होगा।
Now, Brijesh, you also hang out with a lot of senior practitioners in the industry. You've met a lot of successful financial advisors and distributors. What do you think are the 2-3 traits which, जो अगर है तो भाई मतलब there's no chance of him not succeeding as a financial advisor distributors. What are the good traits of a good successful MFD?
I think, again, the answers are similar. That, what is the strength of a mutual fund distributor? I think
Achha.
they try to work in the interest of the client.
Hmm.
And so if I have to answer you in one word, the positive attitude.
Okay.
This is the biggest differentiator between a successful mutual fund distributor versus not so successful mutual fund distributor. What is the difference? A successful mutual fund distributor will say, "To kya hua?" So what?
So what?
The negative distributor will say, ये नहीं होना चाहिए, ये गलत हुआ, ऐसा नहीं होना चाहिए. So he will spend 2 hours every day gossiping into WhatsApp group and other people कि ये नहीं होना चाहिए, सही नहीं है, गलत नहीं है, इसने ये स्टॉक क्यों लिया, इस कंपनी ने ये गलत किया, उस फंड हाउस ने ये गलत किया. There are a lot of filled with negativity. So successful, when I meet industry wizards, people like Gajan Kothari, maybe Vishal Dhawan, maybe Rupa, Dhruv, Pallav, Ashish Madani, I can name hundreds of them.
Yeah.
They only talk about growth. They have never spoken about क्या गलत हो रहा है, क्या सही नहीं हो रहा है. They are fighting. We are all fighting to have so that people gives us the desired attention. But so be it. I mean, अपना काम करो. मतलब दूसरे के चीजों के अंदर में जहां मेरा कोई से नहीं है, मैं I can't do anything. I'm focusing there. I'm spending a lot of time into those activities. उसकी जगह I tell people, एक client से extra मिल लो, 5 साल में बड़े बन जाओगे यार.
And now that we are calling ourselves as mutual fund distributors, but you have been a big proponent of now client का call करता है तो जो भी है fulfill करने का कोशिश करो. So how do we actually work and position ourselves beyond mutual funds as a MFD?
Sadiq, I have a very simple take here. You are recording this session and still I am saying this. Regulation आपको तब तक तकलीफ नहीं देगा जब तक आप इन्वेस्टर को तकलीफ नहीं देंगे.
बिल्कुल.
बात खत्म हो गई. जब तक रेगुलेटर के पास आपकी शिकायत नहीं जाएगी ना, तब तक रेगुलेटर आपके पास नहीं आने वाला. So आपको सिर्फ एक काम करना है लाइफ में कि जो करना है करो विद इन द एम्बिट ऑफ लॉ. आई एम नॉट सेइंग जस्ट ब्रेक द लॉ. आपको रॉबिन हुड नहीं बनना है कि आप ब्रेक करके काम करो. बट जब तक आप इन्वेस्टर के इंटरेस्ट में काम कर रहे हो ना, आपको प्रिकॉशन नहीं लेना है. आपको इंश्योर करना है कि देयर इज जीरो कंप्लेंट अगेंस्ट यू इन लाइफ टाइम इन दिस प्रोफेशन. That is only precaution that you have. And so when a client asks you, and you can give incidental advice. बहुत सारे म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर अपने सोशल मीडिया पे अपने आप को फाइनेंशियल प्लानर लिखते हैं, एडवाइजर वर्ड यूज करते हैं, अपनी ऑफिस में वेल्थ प्लानिंग, फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग, गोल्ड प्लानिंग का लेबल्स लगाते हैं. इट्स ऑल रॉन्ग. This is wrong. This is where you will get caught. This is not right to project yourself that you're a financial planner. You cannot do that. This is not the law of the land. Brijesh Dalmia is not a financial planner. Brijesh Dalmia doesn't do financial planning. Even if I do, I am not supposed to do financial planning. So I don't do. Very simple, pure. डोंट डू एनीथिंग विच यू आर नॉट सपोज टू सी। मेरा किसी भी कम्युनिकेशन में ये नहीं लिखा होता है कि मैं फाइनेंशियल प्लानिंग करता हूं, मेरी वेल्थ मैनेजमेंट कंपनी है। मैं लिखता हूं डालमिया वेल्थ इज अ म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर, ब्रिजेश डालमिया इज अ म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर। मेरे को इज्जत में कोई तकलीफ नहीं आती इसमें। लेकिन पीपल हु आर 10-20 करोड़, 100 करोड़, इवन 500 करोड़ कैसे लिख सकते हैं मैं तो एजेंट बन गया? मतलब दिस थॉट इज वेरी डेंजरस, दिस इज वेयर इज नॉट राइट। जब तकलीफ आएगी ना इंडिया में मेरे को आपको, तो सब मरेंगे। मुझे नहीं मालूम कि किसका नंबर कब आने वाला है, बिकॉज कब क्या गलती हो जाए, मगर कोशिश ये रहती है क्लाइंट की शिकायत रेगुलेटर के पास कभी ना जाए।
राइट।
बाकी किसी और ने कोई शिकायत कर दी, कहीं भूल हो गई आपसे, कोई वर्ड हो गया, कोई डिस्क्लेमर गलती से छूट गया, ये सब माफी लायक है। सो डोंट डू एनीथिंग वेयर अ क्लाइंट टेल्स द रेगुलेटर दिस पर्सन डिड नॉट डू राइट विद।
लेकिन आप कुछ भी बुला लीजिए खुद को, लेकिन काम तो वही करना है क्लाइंट के साथ।
नहीं, हाँ नहीं, काम वही करना है, क्योंकि इंसिडेंटल एडवाइस में सब वैलिड है। इफ यू सी द रूल रेगुलेशन,
Precisely,
दिस
yeah.
वर्ड कॉल्ड इंसिडेंटल एडवाइस एंड इट इज नॉट ब्लैक एंड व्हाइट, इट इज ग्रे।
Sure.
और अगर मेरे
Yeah.
से एक क्लाइंट पूछता है पीपीएफ में मैं पैसा डालूं या नहीं डालूं, तो
Hmm.
मैं उसको हाँ ना बोल सकता हूँ कि मेरे हिसाब से आप ऐसा करना चाहिए। मैं ये थोड़ी बोलूंगा मैं आपको बताऊंगा नहीं, मैं आपको बोलूंगा नहीं, मैं आपसे बात नहीं करूंगा।
सही है।
What is the regulation saying? Regulator is saying that Brijesh, do not project yourself that you are an investment advisor.
That's it.
Do not project yourself that you are a wealth manager or a financial planner. क्लाइंट को ये पता होना चाहिए आपको कमीशन मिलती है और आप म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर है। 75% ऑफ द प्रॉब्लम इज ओवर,
That's it.
प्रोजेक्शन इज द प्रॉब्लम।
बिल्कुल। नहीं, coming to another thing, okay, what do you think, what other things do you think a mutual fund distributor should be doing to be able to best help their clients beyond mutual funds? The question is
खाली
that.
एसेट एलोकेशन करना है सादिक। मेरे ख्याल से आई एम अ बिग प्रोपोनेंट that if a client has PPF, sovereign gold bond, NPS and mutual funds, उसको पांचवा प्रोडक्ट में इन्वेस्ट करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है। और ये पांचों प्रोडक्ट आप बेच सकते हैं एज अ म्यूचुअल फंड डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर। छठा प्रोडक्ट की जरूरत ही नहीं है। एंड इवन इफ जरूरत है, अगर आप मिस कर गए, इट इज लाइक मिसिंग अ पर्टिकुलर स्टॉक, दूसरा स्टॉक है। एक बस मिस कर गए, दूसरी बस है। सो दिस नथिंग, एन इन्वेस्टर हु इन्वेस्ट इन दीज 4-5 प्रोडक्ट फॉर लाइफ will not regret. And you don't have to be an investment advisor to sell or suggest these things: NPS, PPF, Sukanya, sovereign gold bond and mutual funds.
Mutual
You
fund.
don't need the sixth product. I don't have a sixth product of my own investment. I'm going live now and I'm telling you this.
Sure. And there's another thing which we as a financial advisor and distributor get into as a challenge is, as the clients grow and we retain them for long, पहले थोड़ा there's a lot of relationship excitement, बहुत सारी चीज चेंज हो रहे हैं, but beyond 7-8 years how do we add value to the clients? And जब client का portfolio बड़ा हो जाता है, 2 करोड़, 3 करोड़, 5 करोड़, or we are earning still decent commissions or very good commissions from that kind of portfolio, how do we justify our value to the clients?
I will put it the other way. Are the clients asking you to justify? Mostly no. They don't even bother about it. You don't even have to justify, because a client who started with 10 lakh rupees of investment, he had a portfolio of 1 crore net worth. So he was thinking about 10 lakh rupees and you were earning 5,000, 6,000 rupees on that. He didn't bother about 5,000, 6,000 rupees of yours. And when you start managing 5 crores for the client becomes 20 crore. And when the client becomes 20 crore, he possibly is earning 2 crores per year, 3 crores per year from his business and profession, because life is a linear line. It doesn't happen that your portfolio grows with the client and client is not growing. So client is also growing. So when the client was making 5 lakh rupees every year, he was not bothered with 5,000 of your commission. Now the client is earning 5 crores a year. He's not bothered about 5 lakh rupees of yours because he has bigger things to do. तो दिन का 1 घंटा देकर के अपने पोर्टफोलियो में थोड़ी दिमाग लगाने वाला है. So this is the first point, that as you grow and you make more money with the client's portfolio, the client is also growing and he stops thinking about the small money part. Number one. Number two, you see, at some point of time, as you grow, and this is my own understanding in my own life, that where I was 20 years and today is different. Today, God has been kind that I have little financial independence. So I don't try to save money everywhere. In fact, I find reason and ways to compensate and support people who are associated with me. For example, doctors or lawyers or whomever I'm working. There have been instances that, I could have gone to someone else. But then again, I feel that they have helped me over the last 10, 15 years. Now it's my time. I can afford it. Let me stay with these people. This is a human, give and take behavior. So
Reciprocal.
Brijesh Dalmia doesn't want to leave Network FP Sadiq because, for whatever reason and go to someone else just because Sadiq is paying me 10,000 rupees less for a particular program. No, I will still work with you because we have grown together, Sadiq.
True.
And this is the basic human behavior. And
Correct.
so many of the clients deal with me, or for example, I remember once or twice I subscribed to Network FP not to attend your event, but just to support you, but just to
Yeah.
tell you that I'm there
True.
because you're doing a good job. Then why do you do this? Because people who do good things, people stay with them. So in the same way, the clients, when you become big, when you become decent, the client, you do good things, client thinks ये बंदा अच्छा है यार, ये अच्छे से मेरे से फोन से बात कर लेता है, रात को 10 बजे फोन करता हूं तो फोन उठा लेता है, और इसकी ऑफिस बढ़िया काम करती है, मेरे को स्टेटमेंट कैपिटल गेन का चाहिए होता है तो 15 मिनट में मिल जाता है. He doesn't bother about 5 lakh rupees in that case. It is just pure nonsense to think on monetary terms that why what, and there will be few clients. छोड़ दे तो अच्छा है, दूसरे मिल जाएंगे. डोंट बॉदर अबाउट दोस क्लाइंट्स एंड बी हैप्पी दैट दे लेफ्ट यू, दे आर मेकिंग मोर मनी. एंड उनको भी आपको ये बोलने की जरूरत नहीं है कि अच्छा नहीं होगा, रिटर्न खराब आएगा, वापस घूम के आएंगे, मेरे पास आना पड़ेगा. ये सब ईगो है. जो नहीं आए वो कभी नहीं आएंगे. दुनिया बहुत बड़ी है, काम करते रहो. देयर आर, सो माय फाइनल स्टेटमेंट, यू सी, कौन साथ है इसके बारे में सोचो, कौन छोड़ के चला गया इसके बारे में नहीं सोचो.
कौन साथ है उसके बारे में सोचो. वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस. ब्रिजेश, इट्स ऑलवेज मेस्मराइजिंग टू लिसन टू यू. जब आप बोलते जाते हो मन करता है सुनते जाए आपका. Brijesh, now are you game for a fun rapid fire? Some will be fun, some may not be, but still it's a rapid fire.
I will try.
Just 5 questions. So you are the Masterstroke. Who is your master? I mean, whom do you look up to as master and your guru?
Jagdish Master, NM Securities.
NM Securities.
Not these days because he has sold his business 10 years ago, but first 10 years of his life, my life, from 1996 to 2010, I consider him to be my guru.
Of Enam Securities.
NM Securities, the partner of Vallabh Ansari.
Got it, got it. Now I believe your son works with you.
Yes.
What's his name?
Ayushman.
Ayushman. What do you think Ayushman likes about working with you? And what do you think Ayushman doesn't like about working with Brijesh Dalmia?
So I first thinks what he doesn't like me because I'm very pushy, I'm very hardworking, I'm very straight, I want perfection, and at times he may feel that I am overpowering, I'm following up too much, and I want to do things my way. Which maybe he is not liking, but the thing that I like about him is that he debates with me, he discusses with me, he encourages me to look the things other way. And at Masterstroke we have changed many things because of his suggestions and advice, because I started thinking that he's the new breed, he knows technology better, he understands how people for example, one statement he made to me is that we cannot take up every single feedback that we receive. It is our product, we have to build it our way, because if we keep incorporating every changes, other people will not like it. And this is one statement he made, which we followed at Masterstroke, that we can't keep 2,200 people happy. If 2,100 are happy, we are happy.
Lovely, lovely. So that's the next generation coming in. Next question, Brijesh. What is it that one thing जो आप industry को बोल के थक गए लेकिन industry समझ नहीं रहा है? Something here, you're ठीक है यार, बहुत साल से बोल रहा हूँ लेकिन ये समझने वाला बात नहीं है. लोगों के पल्ले नहीं पड़ता है, फिर they don't really understand.
You're talking from the manufacturer perspective, distributor, investor?
Yeah, both ways. Let's say it can be AMCs or MFDs, whichever ways.
I think in the mutual fund distribution business, 10 years back, I said, वो जो proposal भी आया था अभी seed advisory का, मुझे लगता है why insurance industry is growing and why there is no dearth of business in insurance is because feet on ground is there. In mutual funds, there is no feet on ground. So every mutual fund company thinks that दूसरा आदमी distributor बनाएगा, हम उसको अपने पास ले आएंगे commission दे करके, बात करके. So the incentive, the onus on mutual fund company is not to create new mutual fund distributors. So that proposal of the regulator to build 5,000 people every year, bring in the industry by spending money, of course did not go through, but that was a wonderful proposal, and I spoke about 10 years back that you should think about how you can have 2 lakh more mutual fund distributor, train them before they make money, support them, and that is one thing we need to do. Financial inclusion तो उसी से आएगा. अभी इंडिया में 30,000 आदमी, 40,000 आदमी से कैसे financial inclusion आएगा? So number of people should go up into the intermediation and distribution.
Lovely. Next, which is the best book which you would recommend every single financial advisor distributor must read?
2 books: The Go Giver, the first book, the red cover page, and the second book is the Almanac of Naval Ravikant.
Naval. I recently read Naval. Fantastic.
He's the best. Just follow his Twitter thread. He's the best.
Yeah, and just want to remind for ourselves and the audience, the one thing that I really loved about the book, Brijesh, is optimizing your life and work for long term. Always think long term. So lovely book, friends. Last one, Brijesh, what is the best thing or best experience that money has helped you buy?
Financial independence and freedom of time. So my word is freedom of time. I can do things my way. I decide when I go to work. I decide when I have to sleep. So I can sleep 8 hours every day, and I can spend money for growth. Financial independence and freedom of time. Freedom of time. So the best use of money is time. So if you can spend your money to get more help, to get things which can help you grow, spend money, invest money on, refresh yourself. So freedom of time is the best thing that you can buy from your money.
Freedom of time. Fantastic, Brijesh. This was a lovely conversation with you. Friends, I have opened up the chat. You can go all in with your hands on the keyboard. What is the best thing that you learned from this Success Talks with Brijesh Dalmia? One learning or one feedback about this session. Hands on the keyboard, friends, and let's get started. Okay, lovely session, full of positivity. Brijesh has always been the Dronacharya to us. Name of books, friends, Go Giver and Naval Ravikant. Okay, simply the best. Awesome. Okay, so in the meanwhile, Brijesh, quickly wanted to ask you, any message for and about Network FP community and Network FP as an organization that you have. You've been associated as long as.
Yeah. I think the best thing I like about Network FP is the branding, the way you do things, the way you keep it neat, the way you give the experience to your attendees, the conferences, the events, the QPFP, the way you do things is fantastic.
Thank you so much, Brijesh, and thanks to you for being a guide and mentor along the way. I
have been always the devil. I have always been the devil. You know that. To tell you what you are not doing right.
मैं हमेशा ब्रिजेश के साथ बात करने के बाद प्रीति के साथ बात करता हूँ. ब्रिजेश ऐसा बोल रहा था, क्या लगता है? Should I go by him or should I not go by him? But you know what, Brijesh, I think that's what helps all of us. You cannot always have a one-sided way of thinking. You should have different ways of thinking, and then you take your own call and keep moving. Yeah, so good. So all this coming up on the chat for you. No negativity at all. True leadership, 150 satisfied clients, being free and frank, and move ahead with self-confidence. Thank you, sir. बुक नेम्स एक बार बोल दीजिए सर, आप अपने जुबान से बोल दीजिए.
गो गिवर में 4 किताबें हैं. पहली किताब पढ़नी है जिसका रेड कलर का बुक है, द फर्स्ट बुक ऑफ द सीरीज द गो गिवर, and the second book name is by Naval Ravikant. The name of the book is The Almanac of Naval Ravikant. There are 100 books I can recommend, but if you ask me 1 and 2, these are the 2 you should read.
Fantastic. Best conversation, positivity as it speak. 2 energetic people spreading a lot of positivity to industry. And yeah, good SWOT analysis. All this for you, Brijesh. Thanks a lot for making it to Success Talks. I've been thinking about you from long time now. एक बार ये करना था, लेकिन जब हुआ तो बहुत अच्छा हुआ. I really enjoyed the conversation, Brijesh, with you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Brijesh. Look forward to see you again. Bye.